Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and today we're back in the world of Reclamation. So, as you could... Why is this full of brine? Is this full? Oh. Oh, that's why it's full of brine. Anyways, as you could see, I've set up a little bit more stuff back here, because I was trying to work on some automation with AE and mechanism to save some time, and man, this is a pain in my butt. Because the infusing factory is quite annoying. If you know anything about AE, the way these pattern providers work is that you tell it to craft something, like a infused alloy. And you tell it to make 8 infused alloy, you need 8 iron ingots, and 1 enriched redstone. And when it does that, it takes those 9 items and tries to push it into whatever is attached to the pattern provider. So in this case, the basic infusing factory. So what it tries to do is it will try to push 8 iron and 1 infused redstone into this. The issue is that the infusing factory takes the infusions down here in the extra slot. And the extra slot can't be inputted by the ME pattern provider, and it can't do both. So it can't input here and here at the same time. So I figured out a workaround to that was that if I have it pushed to a barrel, I can have the barrel output to 2 different sides. And as you can see here, so using the barrel, it inputs into the main slot and the extra slot. And that seems to be working. It does have a side effect of when I need to craft something like, if I tell it to craft alloy, if I tell it to craft atomic alloy and there's not the prerequisite ones, it will push everything into the infusing factory at the same time, which shouldn't work, but it kinda does, so I'm gonna leave it like that until it starts causing me issues. Because at this time, I think it's quite alright. Now, if you remember from last episode, we finished setting up our fission reactor here and here with our steam turbine turning it into power, but now to make antimatter, we're going to have to set up some waste processing to make the plutonium and the polonium, because to finish the pack, we're going to need to generate antimatter pellets. And to get both of these, we're going to need plutonium, which comes from nuclear waste in the isotopic centrifuge, along with polonium, which comes from nuclear waste in the solar neutron activator. So we're going to be building that today. And you may have also noticed, wait a minute, what happened to the spaghetti of machines you had right here that were in charge of making the nuclear waste? I was looking forward to seeing that again, and you'd be right, because I moved it over here. A philosophy I live by is always do it first, you can make it better later, and that's exactly what I did here. Once I figured out what all machines are needed and what they need to be placed next to each other to accomplish, I was able to really shorten the amount of space it takes up into a single line. Of course the sink kinda stands out, but that's fine. It's infinite water, so. So now, using all these machines, it creates nuclear waste, and it only really needs 3 other inputs, 1 for sulfur dust, 1 for fluoride blocks, and 1 for uranium ingots, and it runs pretty well, especially now that we have the fuel to power it. So now using our auto crafting, we should be able to finish out and make another isotopic centrifuge and the solar neutron activator. It is a bit annoying that you can't, like, see, I keep clicking this, but it won't fill it, and it won't let me open it, because I need 2 of those control circuits. So you'll see it's gonna make, it needs to craft 2 more, so you can see this in action. This one's a little bit more complicated, so we're gonna hit craft, because, okay, there it goes, the refined obsidian gets enriched, and then that'll throw it in here. Making those is a little bit more complicated because I have to first crush obsidian in the crusher to get obsidian dust. Then I have to combine obsidian dust with an enriched diamond to make this refined obsidian dust. and then combine that with those to make the atomic alloy, but then it's all good to go. And then we're going to need a tank, basic chemical tank. So now if I craft this, there we go, a second one. And the solar neutron activator. So we're missing reinforced alloy, copper. We're gonna need 3 bronze. So I hope this will work. Tin, tin, tin. It says it makes 4, so that should be good. Okay. It's crushing up the tin. And then I believe it has to infuse it. I think that's where I put it. Yeah, so then it's going to infuse this tin. Okay, now we're enriching the tin. So I think that's actually going to break it. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, I need to take that off. There we go. Input, output. Cancel this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It'll make 4. Okay, try that one more time. That's also the problem I had here. You have to make sure these aren't auto-outputting, since I'm already doing the auto-crafting. I don't need it to auto-output. It infused the tin, and the copper goes inside next. I wonder why it didn't auto-sort. So weird. Oh no, because it needs 3 copper just to make 1. There we go. And then we're going to need a steel casing. Did I not put steel casing in here? Don't think I did. Steel casing. Pattern access. Steel casing goes in here. Steel casing. Done. And then the sheet. I thought I had the plastic sheet. There we go. Luckily we had like 50 of these pellets left over, so we make the sheet. Then we're going to need 1 more of this reinforced alloy. Craft that. It's going to take a diamond. So you can see it's going to take this diamond, enrich it, combine it with the 4 infused to make the 4 reinforced. And then we should be good to go. So you can see it's going in here. And then the only thing to make this faster is we could start throwing in speed and energy upgrades into these machines. That way they start processing a lot quicker as well. We don't have to wait as long. So see, the diamond goes in, infused alloys follow up, and it's good to go. And that's going to finish it up. And once that's done, it'll make... Oh, it's actually going to be done. There we go. Some of these actually, where is it? Like you can see here, I have it set to produce 4 at a time. Just because I like using the more efficient process. So let's see, we're going to place these machines over here where the waste is. So let's come around back. We already have the power line right here. And let's see, so we want to make polonium and plutonium. And they both take nuclear waste. And that's it, you just have to put nuclear waste in these machines and run them. So, can we output from here? Because I know this inputs, we might just have to disconnect this radioactive barrel, or actually, pressurized tube. We should have some more. Okay, advanced. I should add these tubes to the autocraft as well. I only have the basic logistical tubes in there right now. If I do this, okay, it won't connect. But if we do... What's the best way to do this? If I want... Because we could put it here and here, so they have power. Oh, but we need to take out these because... Yeah, to make the pellet forms, after we make the plutonium and polonium liquid, we have to put them both into a pressurized reaction chamber, and that's also going to output spent nuclear waste and the pellet. They both need water by the looks of it. So we're going to need 2 pressurized reaction chambers. see. Can I make that pressurized? I think I made one before. We're gonna need 4 basic chemical tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna need 2 enrichment chambers. That's annoying. You know you can craft this, so why don't you just craft it for me? 1, 2. 1, 2. That's weird. They don't stack? I don't see why they wouldn't. 1 and 2. Oh, we're gonna need power cables as well. Let me grab our cables. That's not useful. Cable. And the basic ones should work fine. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the rain. Weather, even lower. Like, it's already at 25%. See, even at 2%, it's still quite loud. Okay, so we're gonna have these output here into these machines here. Run the power underneath. Like so. And these are gonna both need water. So I could steal water from this guy. Pressurized tube, mechanical pipe. No need to make another one, when we could just use these. Mechanical pipe. We can just use the basic ones, because we're not gonna need too many. This crafts in parts of 8, right? You don't know how to make buckets? Come on, man. Buckets. Throw that in here. Luckily, once you set this up, it's so easy just to add stuff. Mechanical pipe. Craft 8, yep, thank you. Let's see, that should reach. Because we need water to go in both of these. How did... I wanted it on the top. 1, 2, 3. If we do it like that, it should split just fine. Set this to suck. Yep, they fill with water extremely fast. Set these guys to output, eject, front output, eject, front output. Okay, so they're gonna eject. Now we just have to split this tube here. And let's see, I believe I can actually just, yeah, do that. And I think that's the animation for the nuclear waste burning off. So you can see the nuclear waste is starting to build up very slowly. Pressurized tube. So now, if we just connect both of these in the back, and I need it to be 50-50 split. So if I do it like this, let's move this torch. It should split it in between. Let me grab some more pressurized tubes. Oh, they're not in the autocraft. Why isn't it typing? Pressurized tube. Go ahead and make these. Let's make these. So now if I attach this here, and let's have it run along this way so it's not in the way. Nuclear waste. Okay, it kind of split in the middle. And I'm just now realizing this is a solar neutron activator, so this one probably needs a direct line to the sun. But since it's full of nuclear waste, I can't actually break this guy. Will not decay. Okay, this one's getting the plutonium, which is very good, so that one's working. Can I pull out of here? I mean, I tried to pull it out. It doesn't really work. So I guess that's kind of just wasted nuclear waste. But, yeah, so I'm guessing this one is going to need sunlight, because it does say solar neutron activator. So let me sleep to get through the night and see if it'll turn on. And yeah, this is not working, so it likely does need direct sunlight. Let's see. Oh, that actually worked incredibly fast, wow. And all I did was break the block. Luckily the spruce fence doesn't block it by the looks of it. So let's see, so now we have liquid polonium and liquid plutonium, but to turn it into the pellet takes 1,000 millibuckets. And we have 200 and 200. So this is going to be quite slow. At least at our current rate. Because we're only generating not a lot. Because this is going up by... because we're splitting it between two. And it's going to decay while it's in the machine. Will not decay inside of a radioactive waste barrel. See, we have 4,000 in here that we can't take out. It's a bit annoying. How am I going to produce more? We're going to need a lot more nuclear waste. Let's see, this isn't the biggest one you can make. The maximum size is I think it was, sorry, I had a cough. I think the biggest size you can make is 18 by 18 by 18. But this did take like all of our steel. So I wonder if there's a way. There might be a way. A very dangerous way. If I take this. So we lose the water. So now the water is going to start to drain. As the coolant drains, this is going to start to heat up. As the temperature rises, the fissile fuel should get used faster, which will generate more waste. So I think that could work, because you can see the burn rate is only 0.1 millibuckets per tick. So if we make it hotter, that might do something. It could also explode in our face, but that's just a risk we're gonna have to take. Okay, so it turns out I could actually extract from the bottom, just not the top. So that's what I did there. Now sadly, I don't think I can break these pipes now, because they once held nuclear waste. So I think if I break them, I'll get nuclear waste spillage. So let's see, that's still 405, this is 524. So this was a very, very slow process. Let's see. The water is going to drain pretty soon, which means this is going to start getting very hot. So I think I should probably return the water levels back in here so it doesn't explode. That sounds like a good idea. But it seems like we're gonna need a lot more nuclear waste to like get a sizable amount of plutonium and polonium. So I may just have to build a second, even bigger fission reactor specifically just to make nuclear waste. Because this is going extremely slow. I thought this was going to go a lot faster, but it does not seem to be the case. Now I wonder, if I break this... I mean, it's empty. And it's not holding any right now. So let me back up a bit. Okay, seems like it's fine. Okay, we're all good. We'll just leave that like that. And then I guess we'll just have to wait a pretty long time to get that going. So, while we wait for that, it did say we only need one antimatter pellet to finish the pack. And then to make the pellet, you need antimatter. Huh, it actually says you just need the polonium. So why do I need both of them? Making antimatter requires the creation of a supercritical phase shifter. The casings require polonium and plutonium. Supercritical phase shifter. Super phase at mechanism. It said it's a multi-block, but how do I actually, let's see, plutonium uses, here we go, SPF casing. So it takes polonium and plutonium along with HDPE, reprocessed fissile fragment, you can use that to make more nuclear fuel. Shift N. A reinforced casing capable of resisting intense chemical and thermal effects from phase shifting reactions. Okay, so that's what we're going to need it for. So if it takes this much, we're definitely going to need another reactor just to produce the amounts required, because this is taking an extremely long time, and that's only going to net us 1 and spent nuclear waste. And spent nuclear waste can't be used in this because this is, what is this? Nuclear waste, not spent nuclear waste. Interesting. So while we wait for that, I'm also going to need a lot more steel before I can build another bigger fission reactor. So while we wait for that to progress, I guess we can go and take a look back at this stuff up here. So we did have to finish out the tier 5 altar using our hellforged ingots, so let's go ahead and make these blocks. And we're going to need a lot more blank runes. Because if we pull out our book here, the tier 5 altar, there it is, takes 52 more runes for these sides here. So let's go ahead and see the layout. So if we come over here, visualize, click this, visualize right here, give me my book back, and come down here. So we have to place one right here, one over here, and looks like, yeah, it's so big it's going into the wall. One there, another one here, and then the last one in this corner over here. There, and then the last one goes in here. Like so. Then I'm going to have to dig out this wall so we can fit those runes, and then we have to place the remaining runes here. That'll get us the final tier altar, and we can make ethereal slates with 30,000 LP. Now, getting 30,000 LP... Huh? Why is there a... It's the Enderman, isn't it? The Enderman keep taking blocks. Now, getting 30,000 LP shouldn't be too difficult, because we have this guy over here. Although we have been using this to drain into the blood network. Yeah, we have 142,000 in there. So let me go ahead and take those off. So at a total of 52 runes, we already have 8. 52 minus 8 is what? 2, 6, 44? We're going to need 44 more blank runes. Blank rune. Luckily that's just the blank slate and stone. Pretty expensive. 40,000. But not impossible. It will take quite a bit of time though. If I had upgraded these in the past with more speed runes, which we definitely could, I could make it go a lot faster and possibly automate it as well. But I did not think that far ahead. So I'll go ahead and skip crafting all of the blank runes. That way we can finish out the tier 5 blood altar. I'll see you in a second. Alright, thank you for waiting. The tier 5 blood altar is complete. And thank you everyone in the comments who also let me know that the displacement runes are how you increase the flow rate of this guy. So you can see this altar over here is only tier 3. I might have to upgrade this one as well to tier 4 just to get more displacement runes. Because it's not... It's okay, but it could be flowing a lot faster. But it does keep this one pretty full, as you can see. Because this one is now getting the life essence from that. And then now we can make the ethereal slate from the demonic slate, from the imbued slate, from the reinforced slate, from the other slate a lot easier. Also, thank you to the other people as well who told me about the Botania Life Imbuer to keep the spawner going. I realized I don't want to be AFKing there, so the Life Imbuer was pretty useful for that. So we're going to need some stone, right? For the slate, let's see, ethereal slate, demonic, imbued, reinforced, blank. Stone can be any one of these. So let's go ahead and grab one. And then if I throw it in there, it'll go through the entire process very slowly, since we also don't have a lot of speed runes. So I should probably add those as well. Put that in here. And let's make sure we have at least 50,000. So if I use this guy, we're at 31. Adds another 10,000. Oh, and that's actually 40,000 is the max. I forgot about that. Huh. That's a little bit annoying. I'm gonna have to upgrade this one. This is the max. Oh, that's also why you can upgrade the runes. These are still the tier 1 runes. We can upgrade them using the demonic ore, so I'll have to get more of that to make these a lot more efficient. But that'll get us the tier 5 slates. So while we wait for that, we also need to get the wither skeleton heads, which we can make. It takes demonic slate, the vengeful will crystals, and the rune of wrath. Let's see how these guys are going. This has been cooking for a while. I forgot to collect these. There we go. Oh, and we got quite a lot too. Nice. So that should be everything we need for that. Come out over here. So to make this, we're going to need 3 wither skeleton skulls. We have the bones. We're going to need 3 demonic slates, which are pretty expensive, but we can get that pretty easily as well. But then the most difficult one is going to be the rune of wrath. That's going to take rune of earth, water, winter, and some terra steel. And terra steel, as you know, quite expensive, but we should be able to get that as well. And let's see. Oh, there we go. We're done. 1 demonic slate. Why is it still draining? Oh, because it needs to be ethereal. Uh-oh. I don't think we have enough power in here. Demonic slate. I thought we were going to have enough. Oh, wait. No, it's done. Why isn't it? No, it has to be ethereal, and that takes 30,000. Okay. Definitely gonna need to upgrade the runes on these. 8,000. Continue to fill this up. Wait for full health. 15. Put that back on. 19. A couple more sacrifices ought to do it. And now I understand why people have 3 blood altars, because this is a little bit annoying. You need one specifically just for obtaining the blood essence, and then one just for crafting stuff using that blood essence, because this is quite slow. And like this one, what? Yeah, I have the runes of self-sacrifice on this. These could be runes of capacity, so we could have even more. And there we go. 1 ethereal slate. What can we use it for? Reinforced speed runes. So reinforced runes. And that's it. I'm assuming we're going to need it for... Huh. It's not for this. Look into the ritual of reclamation. The Rite of Reclamation. This rite will convert wasteland biomes into their living equivalents. It has a range of 24 blocks from the center of the circle. Okay, so we're going to use the ethereal slates for this ritual. So we're going to need a lot more of these. You also need a tuned stone charge, drop of luck, shard of laputa, and then our crystals. What is a shard of lapush? Okay, it is laputa and not like lapusha. What's a shard of laputa? Shard. They come in different flavors. Gaia Spirit, Dragonstone, Floating Flowers. Okay, so this is why you have to defeat Gaia to do this ritual. Dice roll, gameplay drop, 50% of the time. So they always drop 6 of these. Why are there other ones? Not sure if I understand this. Dice roll 6. So does it have a 1 of 6 to choose these, and then it's random what you get? Not sure if I understand. But regardless, we're going to need a lot more life essence, because we're going to need 3 more ethereal slates, and we're going to have to fight the Spirit of Gaia. So let's go ahead and continue trying to craft our Wither Skeleton skulls. So we're going to need the Rune of Wrath. Luckily we have done this before, so we might actually have a Rune of Wrath sitting over Fire, Water, Pride, Gluttony, Winter. No. None of that. We can actually sort this chest a little bit. This does not all have to be in here now that we have our better storage solution. We do have some Terra Steel. Okay, we have 7 Terra Steel in here, so it should be not too bad to craft everything. Let's see, let's dump everything in here. Because we're going to need 3 of these, 3 Rune of Wrath, so we have to craft this 2 times. So we're going to need 2 Terra Steel Nuggets. We're going to need 2 Rune of Earth. Two Rune of Winter. We have 1, so we'll have to craft 1 more. And then 2 Imbued Slates, and these are the tier 3 ones, so not too bad. So I'll come back once we've assembled all the pieces. Alright, we have our 2 Imbued Slates. Now we just needed 1 more Rune of Winter, which will take another Rune of Earth and Rune of Water. Rune of Earth, Rune of Water, along with 2 snow blocks and a block of wool and mushroom stew. Grab those. Grab some of the snowballs. Oh, this one's completely full of sugarcane. Grab our snowballs. Let's take out some of the sugarcane, save some space. That's gonna start dropping items pretty soon. Gonna have to upgrade the stack upgrades on that one. Let's see, throw that in here. Make some snow blocks, we only need 2. Let's see, do I have wood in here? Where's all my wood? I guess I never needed some until this point for something as mundane as a bowl. Can I use this? Let's see. Yes, perfect. Throw that in there. Make our mushroom stew. We're gonna need 1 wool block. And some living stone. And this was for the Rune of Winter. So 2 snow, white wool, mushroom stew, water, and earth. There we go. And where's my wand? There it is. throw the living stone, and then bam! Now that we have all of that, we can make the second rune of wrath. I think we're all out of living stone though. Huh, that's awkward. I thought I had a ton of it before. White wool in here. Yeah. Oh, I had more in here. I completely forgot about this stuff. Huh. Okay, we're out of stone. Let's make some more. Actually, there should be some stone in here. There is. So we're going to convert this into living stone and then create the Rune of Wrath. And then we should be able to fit... Uh-oh. Okay, I need to place all of this fast. Because it's converting it. And it's full of mana, it's going to keep converting. Alright, after that little snafu, we got our 12 living rocks. So let's turn it into the Rune of Wrath. So we're going to need our imbued slate, winter, earth, and terra steel. Imbued slate, winter, earth, terra steel. We don't need the configurator right now, nor the sacrificial mark. Put that in there. And 1. And then once more to get the second set. And then we'll be all good to craft our wither skeleton skulls. Okay, put this stuff away. Don't need that for now. Now to craft the wither skeleton skulls, we needed the 3 demonic slate, 3 rune of wrath, vengeful will, bone, and some tartaric gems. It does drain 666. So what happened to my tartaric gem? I think I put it in this chest when I dumped everything before. Yep, there it is. And we're gonna need a lot of will, because to make 3, you need at least 1,000. It's gonna drain 666, so we need at least 1,900. Along with 3 bones, which are in our storage system. So this one, vengeful will. This one, this one, this one, this one. So we need 3 bones. One, 2, 3. And we're all set. Now we just need the will, and we should be good to go. Which is a little bit annoying, because if you look... Oh, it does accept the greater, so I probably should have made the greater one at some point. Demonic slate, weak blood shard, blood magic, and only takes... Oh, you have to fill it, but then it only drains 100. Interesting. Alright, well... Looks like I'm gonna have to fill this guy, so... I'm gonna have to slay a lot of stuff with the sword to see if we get some more. Or is there a way to turn... Was there a way to turn this into will? I don't recall. Cluster, tartaric gem. Because you can burn it and put it into the atmosphere to make the gem, but then the gems aren't... But we can't put the will in here, right? Then how are you... Maybe there's something in the book. Let me see. Let me check real quick. Well, after quite a bit of farming, we're all set. So we throw in our... Where are my demonic slates? What happened to my demonic slates? Did I never craft them? Well, did I just keep talking about crafting them and completely forget to craft them? It seems so. Definitely seems like that's something I did. Alright, well, how much blood is in here? 40,000. Okay, that should be enough to get the 2 slates. Grab some tough. Throw that in here. And we wait for these to become demonic. Alright, demonic slates done. Now we can craft it all together. Demonic slate, Rune of Wrath, Vengeful Will, Bone, our Greater Tartaric Gem that I filled with Raw Will to do this. Luckily, filling it wasn't too bad now that we have the automatic mob spawner. Makes it a lot easier. Before I was literally running around in the darkness hunting creatures. I need 3 of these. Okay, one more. One more. I'm so good at basic arithmetic. 3 minus 2 is 1. We need 1 more. And now it's finally complete. 3 Wither Skeleton Skulls. We can summon the Wither. But this episode has gone on quite long enough. And in addition to that, we're going to have to kill the Spirit of Gaia as well. So we're going to need 4 Gaia pylons, so we'll probably take care of that next episode. In the meantime, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.